Absolutely buzzing. Absolutely buzzing, I must admit. Didn't expect to bite. And this has absolutely made my day. Come on!
Right, and if you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button, click on the bell icon to get up-to-date notifications, check out the Instagram at The Fishing Bloggers, and also follow the Facebook page, The Fishing Bloggers TV. Make sure you watch to the end of the video, as we will be announcing the winner for the bait bundle and fish buy giveaway. Over £150 of goods we're going to be giving away, but we're going to be announcing the winner at the end of this video, so make sure you watch till the end. So anyway, I need to go and find some fish. See you in a bit. Right, we're back on the bank. First brew of the day. So, where are we? We are back in Abingdon, up near Oxfordshire, and we are back on the PHILS syndicate on the EMBRYO ticket. Not been up here for a long time, last October actually, and we're literally at the end of February now. So it's been a while. Reason for that is it's a very, very poor winter water. Now, although we could have fished it sort of November, December, the weather wasn't too bad. We decided not to bother, we just concentrate on day ticket fishing. And since the start of the year, it's just been terrible up here. To be fair, the sort of 3 years or so the fishery's sort of been re-established. The winters have been terrible. I think you can count on one hand the amount of captures that comes out during the colder months. It's not until sort of you start getting that warmer weather in the spring that the fish start to come alive again and you start to get the good hits. But anyway, we haven't been up here for a while. It's a nice place to spend a few days, so we thought we'd come up and have a little go, to be honest. So I got here quite late yesterday. I had quite a lot on. I turned out pretty much, well, it was dark by the time I got here. It was like a sheet of glass, absolutely flat calm, so I thought it was a great time to be able to hear for some showers. If anything was going to put his head out, hopefully I'd hear it. So I did a couple of laps of the lake. On the second lap, I was in the scaffold, which is the swim I've set up in, and I actually ended up hearing some fish show. I heard 2 fish show out, maybe anything maybe around 80 yards to 100 yards, something like that, but sort of out sort of in the middle sort of area. And because of that, I thought, right, I'm going to get some rods out in here then. So I kept it simple, didn't want to sort of create too much noise, so I literally just went straight in with 2 solid bags and a zig. I would have potentially fished 3 zigs or 2 zigs, but you can only fish 1 zig at a time on here. So I went in with 1 zig. It's about 4 foot in about 8.5 foot of water. So sort of around the mid-depth sort of range, and then I had 2 solid bags. And again, they were just sort of all out in this sort of general sort of area of where the fish is shown. And that was about it. I didn't put any bait in. I didn't want to mess around doing anything like that at the time. I thought I'd try and see if I could nick a quick bite as I've seen some fish show. Hugh was due to join me within an hour or two of me sort of getting sorted. So I got base camp set up, got the brolly all sorted. I put the overwrap on as well because we were meant to be due a bit of bad weather. And sort of got everything sorted and settled in. Opened up a tin of cider and chilled out. And yeah, not long after, Hugh turned up. Right then, as Sean's already mentioned, I arrived a couple of hours after him as I had work all day. As soon as he's seen a couple, I thought it'd only be polite to drop in next to him. And I decided to go with 2 solid bags and then just a single Ronnie. Seeing as I hadn't done many fish this winter and I didn't want to put any bait in the dark and sort of spread my bait around or be ineffective overnight. So thought we'd see what would happen overnight, and as you can probably hopefully tell from the flag at success, as I'd like to call it, I managed to have one in the night. So we'll cut to that footage now, and then later on today I'll talk you through the rig and the solid bag setup. Right then, it's about 4 AM. I got rudely awoken. I got rudely awoken. Right then, it's about 4 AM and this lovely £20 mirror's gone ripping off. Took me a little while to realise what was going on, and I've had to rudely awaken Sean to make sure we catch it in its best light, get some nice photos. Absolutely buzzing, didn't expect to bite. Happy days. Absolutely buzzing.
Absolutely buzzing, I must admit. Didn't expect to bite, and this has absolutely made my day. Come on!
I'm not going out there, it's bloody freezing. Off she goes. Looks awesome. Wicked. What do you think then, mate?
Class. That's my favourite bit, to be honest.
So I'm sure you agree that fish you had was an absolute stunner. I was really happy for him, and looking at the sort of frame of the fish, I'm sure it's probably going to be a pretty good one in the future. But anyway, I got back to my swim at about, don't know, 4:30, something like that. And I sat in a bed chair, I was thinking, right, I'm going to get my head down. And that sort of carpy voice in my head sort of said to me, you know what, you need to try and do something that makes something happen. So I decided to get a marker rod out, find the spot that I know is in this swim. It's about 85 yards. Had a couple of casts, bang, dropped on it, sort of clipped everything up, clipped all the rods up, and I put 2 rods out onto it, solid bags, and then put a little bit of bait on it. Only about 6 spots, just enough to sort of draw a bit of attention if any fish were in the area. But yeah, that's kind of what I did, in the hope that this sort of, it felt a little bit milder, and I just had a feeling that maybe a bit of bait might get a bite. I got it in the bag then after doing that, and got my head down, and to be fair, I didn't even wake up till about 10 o'clock, which was quite nice because I got a bit of sleep, and also it left the spot quiet without me sort of disturbing it or anything like that. But to be honest, nothing happened, and it's been a quiet night for me. Looking at the day going forward, it's meant to be quite wet. I think we might be due a bit of a storm later on, so potentially it could switch the fish on, and we might be in for a bite later. But we can only do what we can do. Hopefully, going forward, something will happen. But the swim's looking good. It's looking quite nice condition-wise, so hopefully we'll be lucky and I'll actually get one. Right, just had a cast with the old little light spinning rod, and just had this little jack. Probably 5th or 6th cast. Just on a little spinner, but slip her back so we can get another one.
Right then, this is my first ever pike caught in the right method, if that makes any sense at all. I won't lie, I'm petrified of the things. Sean's just taught me how to hold it properly, so this is literally the first time holding a pike properly. They've all just been unhooked in the mat and then shoved straight back. So yeah, Sean's given me £5. Apparently it's a really healthy pike. It's good to hear. Happy days.
Just sit down there and salt me. There you go. What do you think, mate?
Yes, mate. Buzzing. I was chuffed to catch that as I was that carp last night.
There you go.
I've got to do a bit more of that, I think.
Definitely. Right then, rods aren't in at the moment, as you can probably see. I've just re-clipped and remarked everything. I wasn't quite happy it was on the money, and to be honest, I think it wasn't quite, so I'm happy I've done it. So tonight everything's going to be bang on. Right, I need to nip round and use the toilet, so I'm going to quickly go and do that. Then I can get back and get the rods out before it gets dark. We're then probably going to have a bit of food, a bit of a social, a few beers, probably get the fire going, because there's fires on here as well. You can put in each of the swims and sit around, so have a bit of a chilled evening, I expect, and hopefully one of these will go blasting off at some point, and yeah, we'll have a fish on the bank. But anyway, at least we've had a few pike as well. Hugh had his first properly caught pike by design, and I went on a little lure as well, so that's quite cool. But anyway, less talking and a bit more moving. I'm gonna get stuff sorted and yeah, hopefully we can get one tonight. Right then, so a bit of an update for you. We haven't really got a lot to say, to be honest. Not much has happened, but we've pretty much had a bit of food, had a few beers, chilled out, a bit of a social, and I think we're both going to get in a bag now and hopefully something will happen, isn't it?
Yeah, fingers crossed. Obviously I had that bite last night, so hopefully rolling into the second night, one of us can pick up a fish during the night. Ideally it'd be you, wouldn't it? But yeah, I think about 3:30 was the last bite, so fingers crossed, roll on another fish.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have something else to show you in the morning, but until then, let's hope something happens. Right, morning then. First coffee of the day. Started yesterday on tea, thought I'd start today on a coffee. And I'm using the old aero press as well. I don't know if anyone's seen these, but these are absolutely fantastic bits of kit. And to be fair, I might do a little bit of a mini review on it, because if you like your coffee on the bank, then you definitely need to get an aero press. But yeah, unfortunately, nothing's happened. It's been a very quiet night. I had a couple of liners, but I believe that was potentially some drifting reeds. There's been a few reeds drifting around. I think that's probably what's caused it. There's some caught in the lines at the moment. But yeah, it's been a fishless night. I was quite confident I was going to get a bite, if I'm honest. After Hugh had that one the first night, and I repositioned the rods onto a slightly different spot. They're very accurately put on there. Only put 6 spots over the top of it, so I moved it away from the other bait I'd put out, as I just think that was too much bait. And again, I think that's just an example of how the fish just aren't feeding. Even over 6 bombs of bait, I've not had a bite. So it could be that the fish just aren't feeding. You know, it's not on very good winter water, like I've said, and possibly that they've just not got their heads down at all, and that Hugh's just happened to nick a sort of solitary fish looking for a meal sort of thing. But yeah, it's a bit of a shame, but to be honest, it's a beautiful place to spend a few days and watch time tick by, so we can't knock it. And we've had a pike each as well, which has been quite cool. So I've not gone fishless, to be honest. Although it's not the main intended species, it's been nice to get a bend in the rod. But anyway, I'm gonna wash the water, finish off my coffee, probably get a bit of breakfast on. It's about 7 o'clock now, and we've got to be off by 10. We've got a midweek ticket which goes from 10 o'clock Monday morning to 10 o'clock Friday morning, so we will have to be off in a few hours. But yeah, I think we'll probably have a bit of food, and hope that potentially as the weather warms up today and the sun gets on the lake, that maybe somewhat to trigger a bite. But we'll see how we get on, and we'll catch up soon.
Right, morning then. Unfortunately nothing to report for me overnight other than a great night's sleep. However, Sean has just seen a couple of shows down to his left, so he's put a couple of solid bags on those, and hopefully in the last couple of hours of the session he could pick up a fish as well. I'll have to keep this quick because unfortunately it seems like everyone in Abingdon is just currently driving down the road that runs behind the lake, so otherwise the sound quality is going to be terrible. But this is the rig that was in the solid bag that did me that fish yesterday. So that's a little 12mm Fruitalicious pop-up from DNA, and that's just counteracted with a BB shot. So instead of using wafters, I just use pop-ups, use a little counterweight, and acts exactly the same. I just love using small hook baits. That's all mounted on a size 5 claw hook from Nash, with a little bit of shrink tubing acting as a kicker, about 3–3.5 inches of supple braid, down to a 3 ounce inline lead. And that's all just on some Fox submerged lead-free leader. I always like using leaders where allowed. So that, like I say, all goes into a solid bag. I've been using the ESP PVA minis. They're so compact, you can really pack them down, so they're like a little golf ball almost. Just so easy to cast at quite good distances, really. So yeah, they're brilliant little PVA bags, and as you might be able to pick up in the bottom there, I'll show a close up. That's got some of the krill meal. So I put a bit of krill meal in the bottom first, put the hook bait and the hook, and obviously just that protects that aspect. And then fill it up with some of the mini Cray Mix, incredible pellets. The 2 mils, absolutely incredible for PVA bags, little mesh bags, anything. They're absolutely pungent, but you can really pack the bags down rock hard, and you know, obviously just helps with casting and accuracy. So yeah, if you haven't gotten those yet, that would be my product to go and have a little look at. So yeah, they're all compacted in there, and like I say, on a nice leader, just makes it nice and easy to loop on, loop off. So yeah, that's what did me that fish last night. Sorry, night before that. Nice little 20-pounder, and when the lake's only done probably a handful of fish all winter, it's absolutely chuffed to get a fish. So yeah, if you're in the market for a bit of PVA bag stuff, maybe go over to DNA page and have a look for a few of those items.
Right, so that's the end of the session. Unfortunately, I didn't have anything other than the little jack pike, but I think Hugh did a good job of having that fish on the first night, and to be fair, it's a bit of a result on there in the winter, to be honest, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, to be fair, on the lead up, we said if we can get a bite between us, that's an absolute result. We kind of expected a blank, if we're honest. So we've tried everything from solids, zigs, singles, fanning rods around. We have worked quite hard at it, and also we've had to compete with some of the weather with the filming. So yeah, we've worked hard, haven't we? So it's a result, really.
Yeah, you had a little pike as well, didn't you? So
yeah, first ever like proper caught pike rather than reeling in a boilie. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just as chuffed with that as I was the carp, to be honest. So
yeah, it was a bit of a result, to be fair. So hopefully next time we're out, we'll have a bit more productive session. But we said we were going to do the giveaway when we were next out, and we haven't really been able to film it the way we wanted to. But I guess we promised to do it, so we better get it done.
Yeah. So let's cut to Sean's front room. Right then, well, welcome to Sean's front room. We're obviously going to do the competition draw. So just to remind you, up for grabs is 5 kilo of nutter in the 15mm, the matching liquid, we've got the matching wafters, a DNA hat, and then we've also thrown in one of the fish pies. So it's probably a total of about 180 quid, we reckon, but yeah, well over 150. So a decent prize, we think, and yeah, as a bit of a thank you, really. So let's get on.
So just to go through how we're going to do it. So I've got all the subscribers up on my laptop, and essentially I'm going to scroll through, just randomly scroll through up and down, and then without looking, Hugh is essentially just going to tell me when to stop. So when I then stop, however many are on the screen, I think it fits in about 11 my screen. So I'm going to then say like 1 to 11, pick a number. He's going to pick a number. Whoever that happens to be in the order on my screen, that's essentially who's going to win. Also, we're going to basically give the winner a week to contact us from when the video goes live. So we'll also pick probably a second and third, just in case the first person doesn't contact us. We've then got some other winners as well to be able to hand it over to if the first guy doesn't let us know. But that's how we're going to do it. I think it's the fairest way we can think of doing it, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So I am gonna You're not allowed to look, man.
I'm not looking at it.
Right, I'm going to start scrolling up and down then. And at some point, Hugh is going to tell me when to stop.
Give it a little bit of time. There's quite a few subscribers now, you've got to get through them all.
Yeah, there is actually, yeah. Well, it's getting better, isn't it?
Slowly.
Yeah.
And stop.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's 11. So pick a number 1 to 11.
My lucky number's number 8. Hopefully it's lucky for someone.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so number 8 is Steve Wright. So Steve Wright, you've won the bait bundle and the fish spy.
Go on, Steve.
So fair play. So all you need to do basically is either send us a message through YouTube, our Instagram, or the Facebook page. Just send us your details. Obviously we're going to need your address. Send it on a private message, and then we're trying to arrange it with you, how we're going to get it sent out to you. If you live quite close to us, potentially we might even be able to deliver it in person, maybe get you on camera. If you're out fishing sort of in a local area, maybe we might be able to do something like that, but it depends sort of whereabouts you live, whether it's going to be easy to do that. But yeah, fair play, Steve Wright, you've won the competition, so that worked quite well, didn't it?
7 days.
Yeah. Yeah, mate, you've got a week from now, so better get contacting us, I guess.
Yeah. Thank you for everyone who subscribed.
Yeah.
Keep on subscribing, there'll be a lot more competitions coming up.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a thank you for subscribing, really, so yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going to try and do regular ones, aren't we? Or as regular as we can fit them in.
Yeah.
There probably will be a lot of DNA bait stuff in it, because obviously we are part of the team now, so we want to try and give that back to you guys. We love it, we catch well on it, don't we? So
yeah, exactly.
Hopefully we can sort of give that back to you lot as well. But I'm sure we're dropping a few other things as and when. But yeah, that's the competition. So thanks for everyone that's subscribed to the channel, and hopefully next time you'll be lucky and you'll win as well. But that's the end of the video, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah.
So until next time, get out there and be lucky. Do you reckon that worked?
Why not?
It was a bit like I was kind of waiting for you, and you were like, oh yeah.
Well, yeah, I wasn't sure when you were going to shut up. Like. That's